So he puts this knee here, like that, okay? So once I'm here, it's just guard recovery. Like, look at all his face. He doesn't have me in side mount anymore, doesn't have me in knee on belly. So here's like a place where people will pop up and put you in knee on belly, and while we show to dig this arm out before that happens. If he's popping up from side mount or something, I'm gonna put my knee in there. We saw last class, put your knee back on my belly just normal. If I push this knee at all, I'm giving him this arm for an arm bar or a north-south Kimura. I don't want that. So, but here, I'm defending it with that inside elbow. Okay, so pop up to standing. All right, let's say he just threw me and he's going to pop down inside elbow, right? And then I'm turning down, okay? So lay down real quick. So think about this, like, this is how I drill this with students, partners. I'm gonna just put this knee down on you, okay? So as it's coming down, pull that inside and then turn into me. All right, that's all right. Yeah, never found it. So guys, one of the main responses when you start doing a good job on bottom is you'll make them put their knee on the mat. Turn this way so we can see that. Here, okay? So just go for it. And then, yeah, you turn away slightly, just don't give your back. It's coming down. Maybe put my knee on the mat. If my knee's on the mat, look how he can come up to single legs or anything. Start getting his guard back if he just wants to stay safe, right? But again, once you start doing a good job with this, windows will open, okay? Let's say I'm popping up here. Yeah, good. I just passed your guard. Whoa. Yes, see, you're never giving it to me. You understand that it's a prevention. It's not something I want to lean on after they've already got it established. That's a little later phase idea, right? And we're doing that in the same class. So that's hip escape. Here's another one. You kind of already are doing this. Bring your knee to your elbow. How am I going to put your knee on belly now? I'm doing it and you already have the prevention in place. So that's kind of the next idea is, you know, if I did throw you or something and you can get here, how am I gonna, I'm gonna have to try and break this, and then look, you still have this. Okay, so guys, don't push with this arm here. This is giving me everything I want. So you wanna have some rules of thumb like that, some best practices that will guide our practice on the mat, right? There are things that you should and shouldn't do that are, you know, a bad idea. So that's, if you're on bottom, pushing with this arm, I don't know any positives from it. I do a lot of positives when I do this arm though. Okay, so that's something to think about. Now, here's the next one. Okay, get inside my elbow, please. So we don't get in. Yeah, you already good job. Go back under my head though. Yeah. And he's like, we're doing knee on belly. Why would I? You don't come to knee on belly from me, right? If you do that, this thing I'm about to show is what's going to happen. So this is another prevention. If somebody has you in head, arm, side mount, which we cover in this class, we cover escapes, some of the takedowns we get to here, but there's no good attacks from here. That's one of the tragedies of the position. My guy has to move his arm here if he wants to be really effective. Now, yeah, he could be mean to me with your shoulder. Oh, yeah, that's terrible. Oh, no, guess what? Well, that's been happening to me my whole jiu-jitsu life. I feel comfortable with that, right? Not to say that somebody can't, like, really make it suck for me, but that's just something to consider, okay? Now, I'm bridging and putting a little weight into his arm that's under my head to delay him pulling it out. So he's gonna pop up to knee on belly from here. Go ahead and start doing that. And I'm gonna roll this over here. Boom. It's an upa. And once I've got my upa, I've set up a nice attack on this arm with an arm lock or a north-south Kimura, like the same two techniques we saw in last class and we'll see in a future side control class in this program. Okay, so go ahead, arm side now. Guys, I always tell people this is not a technique to the side as much as it is to the corners. Sometimes I will do this when I push their head down, and I'll roll them this way, okay? And then this one I'm showing today is more over this top corner. Turn a little bit more this way. Okay, so this is lateral. We're thinking he's gonna go he's gonna land here. So people think, oh, we're going to the side. It's more up over the shoulder. And then I'm doing this, okay? So go ahead and pop up and go knee on belly. I'm basing and I'm rolling. Okay, here. Once I'm here, there's my Kimura from last class, or I could be looking for an arm bar. Okay, so that is your prevention. And be particular about what shoulder you go over with that when it matters. So on these next two, we don't just need to prevent. Like prevention in any escape is such a great approach, right? Like that's just like having a prevention is like, okay, you went back and you looked at the position after you learned some of the escapes, and you realize that like, man, I could just stop these from happening. Like I could go a step further than I'd gone previously, and like really it's not further, it's before, but a step further in how you think about it. But that's great. I encourage everybody to do that. That's why we have a prevention like every 3 classes it'll come up or something, right? It's common. We want to armor our students in that way. But you can't always prevent the worst from happening. If we could, we would all be rich. There would be no tragedies in our life. And so we have to also that's why we have savings accounts and plans. It's like, okay, well, if this happens, I got this fallback. And that's kind of, life, jiu-jitsu, right? I'm planning them the same sort of way. But then the worst happens, I need to have a plan. So if I put a knee on belly, people can tap you with that. They could hold you down, start hitting you in the face, advance them out, take your back, submit you from that spot. Maybe they threw you really hard and then dropped their knee on your belly. We got to be able to work from those worst case scenario conditions, okay? So Mike is going to have me a knee on belly, and I'm going to do what we call an outside hip shovel. And I use outside hip shovels in a lot of spots, but this, I'm going to be grabbing my leg, okay? This one, guys, makes the partner sit down. Put me in knee on belly. Yes, okay, so here. What the mistake people make is they turn too much, and then Micah can just start taking my back. Yeah, he's gift wrapping me and stuff. So I just want to turn a little bit, right? And then you see this hand. My elbow is gonna really transfer weight into his hip. So when I pull this way, my elbow is connecting and pushing in that way. So a lot of times when you feel like you should double up and push people back with both forces, it's actually going in opposite directions. So as I drag myself this way, I'm gonna connect to his hip, and that's gonna push him that way. Okay, and it makes him sit down. Again. And see, I'm coming up and this knee is in, but I'm reaching here and coming up into this cross side control. From here, I can go right back into some of our attacks we've been talking about. One of which we will see an escape for today, the north side Kimura. Anytime you have a north side Kimura, you have a far side armbar. Okay, so that is our outside hip shovel. It's all about connecting weight to their hip as you pull out from under. That weight to their hip, it pushes them back a little bit. It more just kind of creates a little void. Like they had all their weight under you. You slide out, they sit down in that space. And my elbow keeps them there so they can't follow me, okay? So that's some ways to think about that. Now, let's work on this north-south Kimura escape real quick, okay? So what I want with this, I'll let you do this, so lay on your side. Here. Okay, so when I lean up, turn a little bit more. I pull out, I pull up, and I put this behind his back, okay? It's connected to my chest, and then that's my finish. You might also see some times where the person has like this sort of a finish. Boom. Transferring to that with the lock on, so I let it go, it can come on tight quick. But when I have this, reach out with your foot. Yes, dig it into the mat. Good. Now, you're gonna slide your hips forward and think about, you're not bridging with this. Keep your hips sliding on the mat and you're gonna put your shoulder on the mat. So this is the same hip shovel we did last escape. Pull yourself forward. Yes, nice. And then come up. And look, put me in on that, come on. All right, and then look, here. So, this is fine. A lot of times I'll put that over your arm. Go and put that over my arm, right? In the sense like your shin over my arm. But really, like anything, they'll control it, and I put the knee all the way down. Yes, yes, terrible. Now you're kind of strangling me with your hamstring. Watch. Boom. See how it's a little flow drill. Grab your lapel, forward hip shovel. Yes. One more. North side, Kimura. Hip shovel. North side, Kimura. Right? Good job. So look, knee elbow prevention. You bring your knee into your elbow, your hip escape. If they're moving from head arm side mount, it's a bad idea. You roll them over. Simple. It's like a little Kimura action. And don't go sideways, they go sideways. You're thinking about bottom and top corner for that technique to work for you. And then we saw hip shovel in two contexts. A later phase knee on belly escape and a Kimura escape. So as we saw North-South Kimura last class. And you know, here's another thing to think about for self-defense. We live in the age of information where, you know, people like Micah, he's in his younger 20s. He's probably not remembered a time vividly where there was no mixed martial arts on TV. It's on SportsCenter every day. It's in every living room, right? So the free pay-per-views, like I remember when that was like, it was on Spike TV sometimes, particularly like Sunday afternoon, they'll do a marathon of this, you know, whatever. But it started so small. And then it grew to where somebody that like I graduated high school with starts training 10 years later and they have an idea of the positions, of the submissions, and they don't have all the components and information, but that person's learning time was not as slow as somebody that I would have seen come in 10 years ago. So guys, it's something like for submission escapes, a lot of people debate, should we do the submission escapes with the beginners? Or is somebody on the street really gonna put them in a North-South Kimura? Maybe, I don't know, man. People watching MMA, people let's say that person already has good instincts and a bad attitude. We gotta think about those people too, right? Like, best case scenario is you're just an untrained imbecile and you're attacking me because you had a bad day and I defend myself and you don't have hepatitis, you didn't scratch or bite me. But these are all best case scenarios. I bet you do get scratched, right? And that's the sort of things that we want to be able to contend with, okay? What if somebody does bust out a submission on you? Are you gonna be like, you're not supposed to know a submission? What if they did 2 years of jiu-jitsu at any gym in the United States? There's so many of them. I know so many gym owners, right? We gotta think about those other people. They're the smaller in number, but they are a variable, okay?